Did you know there was an African emperor so powerful that even the French couldn't defeat him? Well, let me tell you about this amazing story. For over 30 years, the French fought to conquer one of West Africa's most powerful empires. This was not a single battle, but a war of endurance, betrayal, and blood. This was the Mandingo Wars. In the late 19th century, the Mandinka Empire stretched across what is now modern-day Guinea, Mali, and Sierra Leone. At its heart was the great city of Niani, a bustling hub of trade and learning, but it was also a military powerhouse. Its ruler Samori was more than a warrior. He was a master strategist and skilled diplomat. Under his rule, the empire flourished. But looming on the horizon was the rising power of France, which was expanding its colonial empire in West Africa. By the 1880s, France's sights were set on the riches of the interior, and the Mandinka stood directly in their path. To stall the French, Samori signed a series of treaties, each one a masterpiece of diplomacy, buying time to strengthen his army. But he knew these were only temporary pauses. The treaties would eventually lead to open warfare. When the French advanced, Samori was ready. He had armed his soldiers with modern rifles captured from previous battles. He had forged alliances with neighboring kingdoms and built a vast network of informants. His strategy was simple, yet brilliant. He would lure the French into the dense bush, where his elite shock troops would pick them off. Then he would burn the villages and destroy the crops, denying the French the supplies they needed to sustain their forces. The fighting was relentless. The Mandinka, led by Samori, waged a hit-and-run campaign, making the French pay for every mile of territory. They attacked supply depots, ambushed patrols, and launched full-scale assaults on fortified positions. The French were caught off guard by the ferocity of the resistance. They had expected the Mandinka to collapse quickly, but Samori's tactics and strategy proved too effective. His army, which sometimes numbered in the tens of thousands, struck like a hornet's nest and dispersed as quickly as they came. But the French were a formidable foe. They brought modern artillery, disciplined infantry, and a steady flow of reinforcements from across their empire. Slowly but surely, they began to gain ground. Samori was forced to abandon his scorched earth tactics and instead rely on hit-and-run attacks. But Samori's genius lay not just in his military tactics, but also in his understanding of the terrain and his mastery of logistics. He knew the bush better than the French. He could read the signs of the land and predict the movements of his enemies. When the French gained ground, he simply picked up and moved his entire people, thousands of men, women, and children, and established a new base from which to continue the fight. For over a decade, he stayed one step ahead, creating what became one of the longest resistance movements in African colonial history. However, an empire is a relentless force, and in the end, it was too much for even Samori to withstand. By 1898, the French closed in from all sides. Cut off from supplies and allies, Samori's forces were weakened. He made a last stand near the upper Niger, but when his brothers betrayed him, he knew it was over. He was captured and exiled to Gabon, where he died 2 years later. His empire was dismantled, divided among French colonial possessions. Yet Samori's name lived on. The Mandingo Wars may have ended in defeat, but they also left an indelible mark on African history. It was a testament to the courage and determination of one man who refused to surrender his people's freedom. As we reflect on this amazing story, let us be inspired by Samori's bravery and his unwavering commitment to his people. Let us remember the Mandinka Empire not just as a footnote in colonial history, but as a beacon of African excellence. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more amazing stories. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world.